Welcome back everyone, it's Farmer George here. Today I just got back from Tuscany and I had to post this video. I'm very curious as to what can happen if you take seeds out of a tomato that hasn't been cooked. Can you start them immediately into seeds? So the reason I want to do this is these were the reddest and tastiest tomatoes I've ever had. We just stayed with two of our friends, Samuele and Elisabetta, at Agriturismo La Fontaccia in Tuscany, and I didn't ask if I could take some, but off the bruschetta we had at last night's dinner, I took a few seeds and I wrapped them in this piece of napkin. I haven't opened the napkin until right now, so we'll see if they're still there. But I asked Samuele what type of tomatoes he used, and he said Piccadilly and Pilato. But before I order them online to start for my garden next year, I wanted to see if I could start them actually straight out of a tomato. So I don't want to rip these apart because they're kind of fused with the napkin. They're fused with the napkin, but I have a couple there that I'm gonna take out. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know, maybe 6 to 10 seeds. So, what I'm gonna do in today's video, this is gonna be a progression video. So I'm gonna see if I can, first of all, grow these seeds without fermenting or drying them. I guess they've dried overnight in this napkin, but as close to fresh as you can possibly get. I'm gonna see if I can germinate them, and all I'm gonna do to germinate is fill up a plastic cup with some all-purpose, this is just all-purpose enriched compost. I'm gonna use a heating mat to speed along the process. I've had a lot of success with that heating mat, and I'm just gonna cover this with a plastic bag and just a rubber band. I'll spray it, make sure the compost is moist but not too wet so we don't get any rot. And we'll see. First step is to germinate the plant, and then the second step is seeing if we can beat the clock and beat the season to get some tomatoes out of these. And then we'll see what type of tomato these are. Yeah, it's August, so the clock's ticking. We probably have until October, but it depends on the weather, obviously. I'm gonna grow a couple indoors too, so just in case I miss the end of the season, we can have some in late fall and throughout the winter. All right, so what we're gonna do is, so that I don't harm the seeds, I'm just gonna cut around the napkin here. The seeds should be able to pull the napkin off when they germinate. So I'm just gonna cut around the seeds and then get individual seeds. We're just gonna rip this apart. Okay, so I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 seeds, and they're all kind of connected to the paper. But this paper it's so light that it doesn't really matter. The seeds will just grow and push right past the paper. I said I had 12. Yeah. No. Did I say I had 12? I think I said I had 12. Hang on 1 second. Oh, I have 14 seeds. So what I'm gonna do is I'll take 5 cups. I'll do 3 in every cup except for 1, and I'll do 2 in that. So first things first, I'm gonna clear this out. I've separated all the seeds like you just saw, and I'm gonna prepare 2 of my seeds into this cup with some compost, just to show you how I'm gonna do it. Just take a scoop in there, kind of go all the way to the top. I'm trying not to make a mess on this table. did. It's okay. So, here's my my compost here. It's pretty soft and buoyant. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna dig a little hole here. And that's it. Well, maybe not that deep. Maybe about 1/2 inch deep. And then I'm just gonna cover that one up like that. Then I'll dig one over here, 1/2 inch deep, and then cover that one up. And then I'm gonna give it a nice good spray. You want the soil to be nice and moist. You don't want it to dry out ever, because then the seeds won't germinate. So really give it a nice soaking. It's getting all over my cardboard here. You could also just soak the soil before you put the seeds in there, but it's nice and damp up on top. It'll probably soak through to the bottom a little bit, but that's okay, because what we're gonna do next is we're gonna take the plastic bag and we're gonna put it over top. And then we're gonna bring it down over the rim, and we're gonna seal it off with a rubber band. Let's probably go twice with the rubber band. And the rubber band will prevent any air from getting out, and you'll have like a nice greenhouse effect to keep all that moisture in. So in a couple of days, if the seeds are viable, they'll germinate here. I'm expecting to see them sprout 7 to 14 days. And I'm gonna do this, how many times did I say? I think 4 more times, because I have 12 more seeds. So I'll do 3 and 4 more cups. And I'm gonna put them on my seed mat, and they'll be nice and warm. And once they sprout, I'm gonna move a couple outside and keep a couple inside. And we'll see how that goes. I'm curious with the outside just sprouting and putting in this August heat. I'm gonna keep them under the shade for a little while until they get a little stronger, but I don't wanna waste time hardening them off. And hardening off is when you bring indoor plants outside over a period of time so they're not shocked. They get burned up by the sun and they shrivel up and die. So I'm hoping by an early stage, once they sprout, and once they're used to the heat, hopefully I don't even need to harden them off, and that'll save time in our hopes to get these sprouted and fruiting by very early fall. So we'll check back in a little bit, and hopefully we'll see some germination. So it's been 5 days, and I see tomatoes that have sprouted. So I gotta take these bags off, or else they're gonna get really leggy and weak, and then they're just gonna fall over and die. Plus, I also don't want them to rot with too much moisture. So gotta take the bags off. All right, so I'm gonna take the bags off and let's see what we got. I planted these on Monday and it's Saturday. And oh yeah. Look at that. We got some tomatoes. And I just got back from out of town yesterday, so I didn't even think to look, because my seed mat says tomatoes take 6 days to germinate. It's been less than 5, because it's the morning of Saturday. I planted it on Monday evening. 2 more. And 2 more. And 2 more. Looks like we got more here too. And this one's already got a little, I can barely see it, but it's got a little bit of mold. So that's not what we want. That's why I gotta get these out of the bags. We gotta get them some light because they're not even green there. They're looking for some light to make some food for themselves. So we gotta get these some light. So a few of these, I'm gonna keep 2 indoors and I'm gonna put the rest 3 outside. And we'll see how they do. I wanted to update you guys on my tomatoes. It's been almost exactly 7 days since I took these from the napkin and planted them in these cups and put them on the heating pad. In the last piece of this video you saw a lot more tomato plants, but I've since thinned them out and I've put them in 2 cups. And since they were so leggy because I left for a few days and came back, and I didn't expect them to actually germinate, but because they germinated and there was no light, they were getting really leggy. And if you remember in the last video, the leaves were really in bad shape. They were yellow, but yesterday I transplanted the strongest looking ones with the best roots into these cups and put them under my grow lights on a timer. And look, you can see that the leaves are green, and I buried the stem pretty deep to reduce the legginess, but still, I mean, this guy, they're growing really, really fast. So I try to keep the light. This isn't the length I had the light on. I just put it up for the video, but this is an adjustable light, so I can put it down. I'll pretty much put it right down on top of the plants. As long as they're not touching the light bulbs, they should be okay, not get burned. I'll take a couple of these outside shortly, but I just want them to get a little stronger before I do so. Today's actually an overcast day, so I might take a couple of them out there and see how they do. And then I'm gonna keep 2 inside. So 3 outside, 2 inside. That's about it. So guys, the experiment was a success. Who knew you could take tomato seeds off fresh bruschetta from Tuscany and grow it and germinate the seeds? I mean, if you think about it, if it's fresh and it hasn't been cooked, the seeds should germinate if they're viable seeds. I think every single one of my seeds germinated, and even the ones that had pieces of napkin on the outside of them, I mean just thin pieces of napkin, the plant was able to push through the napkin just like it would the seed. So just to recap what I did, I took some seeds off of an appetizer, off of an Italian dish, you know, the little piece of bread with tomatoes, olive oil, some basil, and I took it home. After a day, I germinated the seeds by placing them in just a regular plastic cup with potting soil. The potting soil has a little bit of fertilizer built in. Covered the cup with a Ziploc bag and sealed them with rubber bands. So it created kind of like a mini greenhouse. Put them on the heating pad, and I went away for 5 days. And when I checked on the 6th day, I already had long little plants, and they were yellow leaves because they were sitting in the dark on the heating pad. I didn't think it was going to work. So next time, if you're planting tomato seeds, you have a heating pad and you have really good seeds, it's best to check, you know, every day, but you know, after 3 days, you should start checking your plants. because as soon as they sprout, you got to take off the Ziploc bag, got to get them into some either indoor lights or outside. The plants are looking good right now. The leaves are green, which means photosynthesis is beginning to take place, and they've sprouted immensely over the past day, even since when I transplanted them into the cup. So now I have five plants. I put 3 outside and 2 inside. I know the ones inside are going to be fine under grow lights. I've only used 2 because my setup isn't that big, and I honestly don't think I'll need too many tomatoes throughout the winter months. But it'll be nice to have some fresh tomatoes. The ones outside, complete experiment. Typically, I start seeds inside months before they're ready to go out. It's the middle of August right now. A really short season left, probably till the beginning of October. And usually I grow peppers, but same thing with tomatoes. If you start them inside, you do a process called hardening off. And I just put those seeds outside. They've started inside, they haven't started outside, so it's overcast right now. So hopefully they won't get burned. The leaves won't burn and shrivel up and die. And we'll just see how they go. And in a couple weeks I'll set up another updated video on the tomatoes and see how they're doing inside versus out. So it can be done. It can be done. And let's see if we can get tomatoes within the last season on the outside plants. That's the next experiment with these guys. All right, I had a great time doing this experiment. Had no idea what was gonna happen. And thanks for watching. And remember, let's share and grow together. Bye.